my first question is, I will lump everything together. So we've talked about what the challenges are in terms of the challenges of capacity, competence. We've lumped everything together, funding and all of that. What ideas do we have as to how practically we can, address these challenges so that it makes things quite easy? And we should be taking that lead in addressing these challenges. I will close by saying that Mrs. Binta, right? No, Mrs. Rabi, you've been amazing.
Thank you very much.
Can you identify your husband? This your husband. Where is he?
He's not in the hall right now.
Okay, I would have said we really need to give him a round of applause. But
yeah,
you've
he
been
supports
amazing.
me 100%.
But one of the things that we've been talking about is the fact that women like you don't get support, especially funding. So let me ask the house, who is willing to support her, for instance? Do we think from what she had demonstrated here, she can do something? Who can then take that willingness? Let's see your hands. Let's see our hands. Hey, with all of what we've been talking about, less than 20%? So who among us is willing to support her in any way just to make sure that this political ambition is realized?
Oh my God, I'm so humbled.
Financially,
thank you.
Please meet her at the end and do something to make this dream a reality. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We'll take our last question from the gentleman in the back. Our last question. We're out of time. Thank you.
Okay, good everybody. My name is Peter Uzoho. My question is about the argument that men are not always supporting women when it comes to politics. But I want to ask, don't women see it as a way, as the men trying to protect you from getting involved in some of the... because
I'm going to take the executive decision to remove the mic from that man and move it to this gentleman in front. Thank you very much. No, this gentleman in front. Thank you very much. You can have that conversation with your boy.
You are wrong to say women leaders. The term is woman leader. The history, Political Bureau Report, 1986, analyzed the First Republic, identified two key problems: marginalization of the youth, marginalization of the women. They recommended that because the parties of the of the First Republic, none of them had 4 levels of party organization, ward, local government, state, national, there must be a woman leader and a youth leader in the executive committee. It then became, as Dr. Ramatu said, tokenism, because it meant in leadership at every level, you can only have one woman. That wasn't the intention of the law. The law said there must be at least one woman, but the practice then became there must be only one woman. 1 minute history.
Thank you very much for that insightful history lesson. So we're just going to respond to the questions in case. Do we remember what the questions were? So the first one was, what is the role, I'm aggregating the questions. What is the role of affirmative action or quotas in advancing the cause of women's participation in politics? And then are there any studies that have been conducted in other conservative societies that we can adapt to our local context to increase women's participation? And then what are the practical solutions to the challenges? And who do you think should be responsible for implementing those solutions?
Okay. Well, I will start from the last one you omitted. You just gave 1 minute brief of the genesis of woman leader, women leader issue. That takes us to still the attitude of women. That woman leader, the woman leader was even more applicable and gave the women more strength. ab initio, because she was just one woman leader amongst them, even not woman leader, women leader. The women leader now reduced and streamlines the strength of the woman leader at the helm of affairs, either state, local government, or national, because she's just seen as leader of women, rather than a female leader amidst men that could take decision. But in function, yes, she will go to the caucuses, she will go to every other function and do, but when she comes to say, it's your women, we did that to ourselves. Even as I was in APC and tried deliberately to write woman leader, it was one Herculean task because they felt, it's not woman leader, or it's woman leader. And then they own the woman. They want to dictate to the woman, who happens to be the leader, who will be reported to the men. Then the men wait for you there. When you advocate, they say, is it not the same women? They are complaining about you. So what happens to the function? That takes it down. But look at it generally, the lady that spoke about the quota. The quota system worked also in Rwanda. It worked in South Africa and so many other underdeveloped countries. The quota isn't working in Nigeria because we are saying at least a woman. My great Ismail just said something. Thank you for expediently sending the message across. It boils down to the people at the helm of affairs for today. You cannot change it in 2019 that the governors are indeed in charge of our delegates, of the electoral system, of who becomes what. So we are using this medium to still appeal to the wives, please. Use the function of the other room to speak to our governors and our leaders to please do something out of the box. Basically more, the lobbying must go. Slogans, forget it, even in the men. You don't get those what their earnings on bended knees. You don't get them picking your bags and holding your briefcase. You get them at the research centers. You get them where they've ought to be. Then if you want credible and competent representation, please go out for them. You don't need to wait to anoint someone who is your boy or your girl or your girl bag picker, and you want her there and you want the nation to go somewhere. For crying out loud, we've got to rise up to this occasion and then diversify the pool of female aspirants and candidates. When we do that, irrespective of, class, barrier, ethnicity, religion, we get competent women that will give versatility and challenge to leadership. Women will do tremendously well. Don't get the men scared off. They are scared of the competent women. So why are you also scared of the competent women instead of holding on to their aprons? You go for the men's agbada to fall her down, and you expect the country to move forward, and you expect gender to go forward. Then you say the men are not giving us spaces. Give ourselves the spaces. Power is not served a la carte.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that powerful conclusion.
Okay, so
Mrs.
for
Rabi?
me, I just wrote some recommendations. Which
Please,
I think
one house. One house, thank you.
So I just made some recommendations. I wrote it out here, and I think maybe I should just read it out. And it says, it must be recognized that the principle of equal rights of men and women is enshrined in the Nigerian Constitution. Article 42 guarantees right to freedom from digital leaders. With political leadership be given to women. So what I would like to recommend here is this. First and foremost, the government should please make commitments to address challenges holding women and girls down, implement the gender policy immediately, and ensure that women constitute at least 35% of women appointment, and increase it gradually to 50% by 2030. We should amend the Constitution to provide for affirmative action for women, abrogate all laws that are discriminatory to women and repugnant to natural justice, implement a gender agenda, and for political parties, ensure that women occupy leadership positions in the political party structure, support women candidates during elections and appointments, and give waivers to women in payment of nomination fees.
Thank you very much for those concrete recommendations. And
what I would want to say is about the affirmative action that I urge the government to see that is done. By doing so, it will help the women in politics to get where they want to go. But I want to urge my fellow women to know that politics is local. You have to start from somewhere. And that place that you need to start is your home, your base. When you are there, you impact on your fellow women, youth, and other people that are there. You aspire from there. That is where your potentials will be judged, or that is where they will know who you are, what you have to give. Because politics is for the people, by the people. And you get to be there for the people. You have to be approachable. Your doors have to be open. You have to listen to people. And you have to go along with the people. You bring down yourself. Bring down yourself to the rotten, down. You need just to blend with people. That is when you will be accepted. That is when you will be believed that, yes, you've got the potentials, the qualities, the listening ears. Because there's no point you get there and then you are difficult to be assessed. You are not allowed to hear the good, the bad, and the uglies within where you come from. You need to let yourself accessible. You need to accept people from the downtrodden. You need just to start from the home. Politics is local. When you are good, you are accessible. People have judged your potentials, you can deliver. Then you will have all the support. And I want to say that we women, we have this. If few of us are appointed, we forget our own fellow women down. We forget. Look at what just my dear sister here, or my daughter, has said. She met some of us who have contested, who are somebody in the country in terms of politics. Before her eyes, they rejected an assistant, her mentoring her. You can imagine. So we women, we have problem ourselves. So I urge we women to unite, to know who we are, that God has given us gift of leadership, more than the men, because we're very compassionate, very sensitive, very God-fearing. I wouldn't say all of us are perfect, but majority of us, I'm telling you. But if we really get ourselves united, and then we listen to those that are less privileged, we will impact a lot on a lot of people, and then we'll get to where we want to go. This is my own.
Thank you very much. So Dr. Ramatu wants to give us just a 1 minute.
Just 1 minute to assist Mrs. Rabi Adamu here. Looking at, in choosing a mentor, let there be so many variables. You should also assess to see who can mentor you. First point. Secondly, so many of the women there you find are not even actually what you think. For instance, you have just one woman in that place, be it the National Assembly, the woman leader at state level, what else, she was just a senator. We've advocated so many times to even have the implementation, adequate implementation of the 35% affirmative action. It gets kicked out because they are just decimal. They are yet to attain, you know, the pool. And that is why most of the time some of the people are not explicit enough. She wants to keep her guards. She wants to keep, you know, maintaining and forming big girl. She knows she cannot help. She's actually incapable, or not incapable as a person. She's not indicted, but the space is not according her, you know, the opportunity. And then you come. It's like an impossible thing. Some are too frank. They will just tell you, no. Or they will tell you, come back, and she will keep playing with your mind and your mind and your mind. There should be the function of the numerical strength. Quickly get you network with the top, but make them to understand that you are there for them. It will cost you nothing. By the time that is done, all the, elites should also unite quickly to support women in vying for, positions at the local level. This will strengthen them. It will get them, design programs that will expose them to politics, that will give them the required experience to meet male counterparts. And then they will also qualify and will be as adequately equipped to contest for national seats. You must be a card-carrying member of a political party. Mind you, you must also register, struggle to contest as a delegate. Get many women as much as possible because they will do the voting. Now that the APC is also advocating for, the indirect primaries, it will go a long way because you will have a voice. Let the numerical strength speak. Get your phone numbers together. Speak to yourselves. Don't say she's forming big girl, she passed me. Talk to her. I swear, if you don't give me your number, I will not let you go because she will have a word. Hold this woman in Kaduna. Come after this one. She will speak to the villa. Perhaps I will be able to do something within the party. There is a network even across Africa now that we might begin to move to form, trans-country, caucuses. We mandate you to also form little caucuses that will give you the voice to stand up and rise up to the occasion of challenging. But you must get the buy-in of the men. Oh, I didn't say go fight them. Get their buy-in, but she said it. Stand tall. Be what your onions. Know what you are doing. Do not go for what you cannot do because you think you are a woman and it should be given to you. I will not vote for you. She just said she will not, and I know she will not. Be competent. If they pull you down tomorrow, you get up again next tomorrow. There is every constant thing. It is not falling. That is the issue. Right time we fall. We fall so many times to get to where we are going, but the point is we get to where we are going. Women are surely going to give places in Nigeria.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this riveting conversation. I would like to say we can't take any more questions, unfortunately, but I'm sorry we can't take any more questions. But I would like, it seems innocuous, but you must understand that underqualification is not only an individual problem, it's also systemic, right? So people only gain experience when they have opportunities to do the work. So if there are systemic barriers preventing women from gaining competence in certain fields, then of course there will be women who are underqualified. And remember I said we should keep in mind this bias that men are competent by default and women have to prove themselves. I think that we will know that we have reached equal political representation, and not just political, but representation for women in general, when women are not just required to succeed, but women also have space to fail comparably to the space that men have to fail. Thank you very much.
Let's give them a wonderful Kaduna thank you. Thank you so much, Timehin. Fantastic job. To Dr. Ramatu Tijani-Aliyu, to Ms. Rabi, Adamu, Musa, and to Miss, I'm sorry, I keep saying Ms. as a name. I'm sorry. It's just because I could call you Mrs. now and you tell me no. So Ms. is safe. But I just wanted to announce very quickly while they're taking their pictures. I see that some people are leaving some installation art on their chairs. So they leave the installation art in, by way of bags and things, and they go and leave it here in case they find a buyer. Just so you know, I'll help you take it to the art fair. What I mean to say is please don't leave your bags on the seats and just go. Please, there are people who need to sit on them. Immediately after lunch, we are going to be having a great book log with Timehin Adegbeye and Ms. Hadiza Ismail-Rufai, who are both, I just want to add, Wida Books authors. So we're very excited about that. Just so the guests know, Kola Tubosun, somebody has paracetamol and water for you outside. The guests, you're going to be fed now. Please go to the green room. There's food there. Thank you very much. See you at 2 sharp.